Hi guys, today is May 14th, 2020, and it's been a couple of days since my last update, and a lot has changed since then. Well, futures are pulling lower, and yesterday the market was hammered because Fed chief Jerome Powell came out and said that the economic recovery is going to be slow, and we'll need more stimulus from the government to support the economy. So market got spooked and was sold off. And in general, I think we were actually too high, and I think it was expected that the market is going to be selling off. I mean, since Monday, I thought it was too long that we were staying very high. But in general, government is supporting the economy in the short run, and Fed is also putting a lot of money into the economy, so a lot of liquidity out there, and I think that that's what's supporting the markets. But in general, let's jump to SPY, ETF for S&P 500, and obviously it's trading lower this morning. And I don't know. I'm looking at these conversions of the Magda, and generally, technically, it doesn't look too good. And I would be careful at purchasing something. But maybe at the end of the day, if it's sold off, could be some bargains on the market. So let's jump to corporate news, and let's talk about the airlines. A lot of people ask me about the airlines and what's going to happen to them because they're being hammered again this morning. So let's talk about, let's say, Delta Airlines. Okay, they're trading very low. I mean, another dollar down this morning. David Calhoun is the Boeing CEO, came out a couple of days ago, I think, or yesterday, on NBC, and said that one of the major airlines may declare bankruptcy in a few months. So that really spooked the investors, and but he didn't mention what airline is going to be declaring bankruptcy. But that's what he said. That people trust him. I don't know why he said that, because airlines are the major customer, and he's basically taking an ability from them to raise capital through stock through the capital markets, basically, because nobody knows what airline he mentions or he thought he had in mind, and everybody is selling all the airlines. But in general, to me, if he means the airlines that could go bankrupt, my guess would be maybe American Airlines, because they have the most debt, but I don't know. It's just pure speculation on my part. But in general, I mean, I'm not a big proponent of the airlines, and I'm actually scared as well, because I have shares in airlines, and I don't know what to do with them. But they're going down, and let's see what happens. Well, I'm not selling them yet because they're very low, but but this could be a warning shot for the airlines. This is the second warning shot. The first one was issued by Warren Buffett. Okay, so let's move on to other stocks. In this environment, for example, a stock like Microsoft, AMD, and NVIDIA, Intel, these stocks are at the premium. I mean, they're coming down this morning as well as other stocks, but I think it would be a great opportunity to buy them on a pullback, because this side of the economy, the tech companies, are the companies that will lead us out of this funk, basically. So I really favor these companies, especially Microsoft. Microsoft is my favorite, so I think it should be bought on any pullback. AMD, Intel as well, MU as well. WDC is a little bit questionable, because I don't like their latest conference call that they took out the dividends, and a little bit questionable to me. AMAT, okay, Applied Materials, I mean, they're down this morning. If they come down to under $50, that could be a good opportunity to get into the stock. And LRCX, which is Lam Research. Okay, so Lam Research is down again this morning as yesterday, and this could be a good opportunity to get into that stock as well. And I also like the smaller semiconductor companies like LSCC. Lattice Semiconductor. I own shares, and I think it's a really good time to buy them on a pullback, actually. This company makes components that the semiconductor companies use to do to create or to develop semiconductors, to manufacture them. Okay, so this tech sector is a good opportunity to buy on a pullback. Okay, let's move on to some COVID-19 handling stocks. Inovia Pharmaceuticals. Inovia Pharmaceuticals had earnings a couple of days ago, and nobody cares about the earnings. Everybody cared only about their COVID-19 program, and they said that program is on track. And I see a lot of volume coming into Inovia in the last couple of days, and I think even these prices, I think it's a pretty good opportunity to buy this, because technically there's a pretty good technical setup of the MACD is crossing here. This is going higher, so, and a lot of volume. So I actually bought some additional shares, even though I own shares in a $6 area, but I bought additional shares in $13 area, and I think it could be an interesting trade. So Moderna is trading a little bit too high for me to get in right now. I mean, it's RSI is sitting in an oversold territory, overbought territory, I'm sorry. And in general, I mean, it's a good company, and they get a lot of funding from the government, but it's sitting too high for me to get in. Okay, and the VIR Biotechnology, VIR is trading lower this morning, and that could be a good opportunity, an interesting company to get in. Because they have a lot of COVID-19 programs, and that could be an interesting pickup. Okay, Mesoblast, another COVID-19 handling company, and yesterday they came out. They were in the hold for a couple of days, and yesterday they came out of the hold and said that they priced 43 million shares offering on Australian stock market, and that actually pleased the investors here, and they said that they're financing to scale up the production of their themselves L treatment, and as you know, that treatment actually worked on a very small sample of 12 people. 10 came off the ventilators, and they're actively hiring like 300 people to test their treatment, and who knows, I mean, this could work for MESO. So MESO, in my mind, is a very spec play, but risk reward is actually pretty good, in my opinion. Okay, so let's talk about banks. Okay, so banks came down also a lot, just like airlines, and banks are being hammered again this morning. Especially I'm talking about big banks like Bank of America and Wells Fargo. Wells Fargo got demolished recently, and trading very low, like 60% off the high, I think. And I mean, it's a lot of bad news for Wells Fargo, and I actually dived into their recent conference call, and I actually thought that it was not that bad for Wells Fargo. I mean, they have a lot of bad loans, for example, to oil and gas industries and to malls, to retail, but in general, it's not that bad. So Wells Fargo is being sold off, and I'm not sure if this is a really good time to buy Wells Fargo, but it's very low, and they're trading it with the dividend of over 9%, and everybody is yelling and screaming, this is still not a good buy. I actually like it. I actually like it because after reading the transcript about their last conference call, I was actually convinced that it's not as bad as people think it is. But my favorite bank is Bank of America. They were leveraging their portfolio since 2008 financial crisis, and I think they're very well positioned right now, today. Okay, so another company that I wanted to give you is here. Okay, Turtle Beach, stock symbol HEAR. Okay, that's the tech company that makes headsets for PCs, mobile devices, Xbox, PlayStation. This will be a good year for gaming consoles because a lot of people stay at home. And on May 8th, they actually provided the numbers. They beat the market top and bottom, raised the outlook, and saw strong demand for their products as I mentioned, that people stay at home. So it's a good company to get in on a pullback, I think, in my opinion. Smaller company under $10, maybe not a bad time to get in for here, HER. HEAR, I'm sorry, CYBR. CYBR is the security software company. I reported yesterday actually top and bottom beat, but said that the COVID-19 will just affect the financials near term as customers will make more cautious purchasing decisions, and maybe it's a good opportunity to get into this company on this pullback actually. So closer to $90, I think it's a really good buy in my opinion. So, CYBR, at least it's a company to watch in this space. I like Checkpoint Software. If that comes down under $100, that would be a great buy. Okay, another company that I like is Tower Semiconductor. Is an Israeli company, reported very good numbers yesterday. Or a couple of days ago, reported earnings beat on top and bottom, issued strong guidance, and very good balance sheet. Actually, 747 million in cash, 311 million in debt. So very interesting company to watch, a semiconductor company that I would be interested to buy this on a pullback, and that may happen today. AVNW. Okay, another smaller company, Aviat Networks, reported very good numbers actually. It designs, manufactures, and sells a range of wireless networking products and delivered top and bottom beat, trading under 10 PE, and they're striving to grow double digits even in this difficult environment. So a good company to take a look at, and they're trading pretty high. I think maybe if they come down a little bit closer to $11, that could be an interesting pickup. And in general, I like companies like Bristol Myers and in the healthcare space, AstraZeneca. But AstraZeneca is trading very high. Bristol Myers is actually very reasonable, and I think like at $62 could be a good opportunity to get in. J&J is providing a pretty good technical setup to me. So if it comes down today, maybe it's a great opportunity to jump into this company. Okay, and I have to mention Cisco Systems. They provided pretty good earnings. Actually, reported quarterly profit 79 cents, beating the consensus estimate by 10 cents. Revenue topped as well. Gave upbeat current quarter forecast as it benefits from stay-at-home orders, and I think that's an interesting company to get in general. Trading very low in my opinion, $41, $42 its opening is still a pretty good time to pick up this company. And another one I'll give you is CVS. Okay, CVS is opening more drive-through sites for COVID-19 testing, and that's an interesting company to pick up as well in this environment. Okay, guys, that's it. That's the wrap for the day. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel and click the like button, and I'll see you Monday for the market update, and maybe before that for another in-depth video.